Hello, my name is Anne Kerr. I'm Managing Director of Mott MacDonald Greater China, based here in Hong Kong. I have a few other roles and responsibilities besides being Managing Director, such as the Global Head of Cities at Mott MacDonald, a member of the Shareholders Committee, Chair of Nominations Committee, among some others. My primary role, however, is to run the offices in Greater China, manage the business, our projects, look after our colleagues, our clients, our partners, and to engage with colleagues across other offices of Mott MacDonald, clients in different places, as well as the business communities. I consider myself to be incredibly fortunate to live in and be part of a city which never ceases to amaze, inspire, and excite me. Throughout my career, I have been involved in many amazing projects and have worked with people across many sectors and engaged with people from many different walks of life. And it's been so enriching, as this has a common theme, and the thread here is people. Why did I choose this career? Well, it sort of happened. It started with the fact that during the summer before going to university, I had a meeting with a friend of my parents who was on sabbatical from his role as a dams and water engineer in Africa. He came for a visit, and I listened to his stories about how he was involved in providing clean, safe drinking water to communities and how he contributed to the health of the communities. And I realised that he could probably contribute more to society than many other people. And this was just before I started university, so I changed my track and I focused on, like this friend, water. It is the essence of life. There are many more stories to tell as to how I got started in my career as a graduate in Hong Kong, but maybe that's for another day. Let me just say that I did not plan my career, nor did I work out a career path, but I did take up every opportunity that was offered to me, and it has been very enriching. As to whether or not I have faced any challenges, of course I have, because the world is full of challenges. This is real life, but my character is one of optimism, and I look at not challenges, but I see opportunities, and then we find solutions. So I'm a little surprised by this question, as I thought stereotypes only existed in the past. But I think we should stop thinking about girls don't have logic and don't have such skills. It's surely more about the way that we solve problems, consider issues, bring diversity of thinking. Both boys and girls have the ability to apply logic, find solutions and solve problems. It's really not about gender, but more about attitude. A woman can play any and all roles in civil engineering. It's much more about the ability, the attitude, mindset and approach. Gender is totally irrelevant in my view. Attributes which are needed for engineering include care and attention to detail, tenacity, being a team player, and these attributes equally apply regardless of gender. I sincerely hope so, because we are equal. Why should they not be considered equally? Women are just as able as men to solve problems and to perform roles on construction sites. Whether they want to or not, no, that's a different question. It's a matter of choice, not of gender. And when we consider that nowadays construction sites use many technology solutions, they look at robots, look at similar equipment, the question becomes somewhat irrelevant. As mentioned before, it's attribute and attitude that's more important than gender, I think. Maybe in the past this was a consideration when much work was done by manual labour, but nowadays this isn't the case. In reality, some women are stronger than men and vice versa. So such a generalisation doesn't help us move the profession forward, because this is a bit of a stereotypical question. So I think we should be looking at health and safety. We should be looking at the fact that we focus on health and safety. We look at automation and we look at digital solutions and robotics. We use these in construction sites and they will be much more used in the future. It's not relying on strength but other characteristics. So I suggest the conversation perhaps should be framed around what roles are best suited to which person, rather than assigning on account of gender? And how can diversity in terms of strength, skills, problem solving and decision making, these can all make for better outcomes? So in terms of cultural traditions, some of the old cultural traditions here in Hong Kong were that women couldn't go down tunnels, but that has changed, and I think that many of these are assigned to the past. Actually, there are no longer these cultural traditions about women not being able to do particular roles. Women can and should aim for any role. The career path should not be seen as gender biased, but actually specific to the attributes and attitudes of the individual. The right attitude can take one very far in one's life and career. And being collaborative, communicative, constructive is really important. And having goals and recognizing there's need for flexibility in one's goals is important, because life sometimes throws us a few curved balls. This is a really interesting question that I'm not quite sure that I fully understand about competitiveness, because I think I've met some very competitive women. I've also met some very competitive men, so I think the competitiveness is not really necessarily a trait I admire in either women or men. I think it's much more about being able to focus one's attention on being a team player, a problem solver and a collaborator. That will take you much farther than things that are perhaps seen to be aggressive or competitive or slightly more negative in terms of the discussion points. Absolutely, yes, of course. I've been involved in projects for more than 30 years in 30 different countries and across so many different sectors. I've met such interesting people. The opportunities to see different places and how things are done differently is really exciting. But at the heart of it all, I've met the most amazing people. We all do what we love to create places for people. Yes, just do it. If you're curious, interested in solutions, fascinated by working together to create and inspire, then look no further. Also, talk to people in the profession and look around you. Be inspired and believe in yourself. And remember, the best solutions are created by diversity of thinking, and different viewpoints and voices are really important. And this equally applies to boys and girls. Gender is completely irrelevant.